daughter or one? And,
It's like, I'll keep them there.
make her feel good.
All right, call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. And then, Mr. Cooley, could you do the invocation for us?
Father, we thank you for this land in which we live. We thank you for the freedom and just the physical blessings that you've given to us. We thank you for a representative form of government. And Father, we ask you to watch in our deliberations this evening. Guide us with your spirit, please, and help us to do that which is good for our community. For I ask it through Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then Amy, if we could get a roll call, please.
Michael?
Here.
Christie? Here. Heather?
Here.
Eugene?
Here.
Noah? Present. Amy? Here.
All right, and then before we approve the agenda, we have two things to add to the agenda. The planning commission report is completed, so that will be presented. And then the decision item to add the, words are hard, DTE, yes, project, which you guys had in your box, so. With the addition of those, can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Support. Motion by Nola, support by Christie. Any discussion from the board? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. And then we have the approval of past meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve past meeting minutes.
All right,
I'll support.
motion by Nola, support by Michael. Any discussion from the board? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? All right, motion passes. And then we have the treasurer's report. Christie, if you could do that.
Same as last month, interest rates are going down. Otherwise, we did a total of interest of $17,383.50 for a total of all accounts.
And then we'll put that on file. And then pay the bills. So if we could get a motion to pay the bills.
Yep, I make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay, motion by Nola. Will the support? Support by Amy. And then if we could do a roll call vote for that.
Michael?
Yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
Eugene?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Amy? Yes.
Right, motion passes. And then if we could do the fire department report, chief.
Thank you, ma'am. Average number of calls again in the high 70s, low 80s. Last month and still continuing as of 3 minutes ago. The state is still in a no burn ban. For those who don't know, we had a 23.6 acre, which doesn't seem like a lot, but 23.6 acre brush fire, unattended, illegal burn. It pretty much taxed the entire county. We had that one, and then we had 3 more in our area, assisting Holton with 2 more that same day. So the boys got beat up for about 9.5 hours. And I can tell you, I walked out 23.6, and it was rough. I asked that the board, again, even with the website, and the citizens, please check the Michigan DNR burn permit map. In Dalton Township, that includes the Village of Liquid Club, you cannot burn grass, leaves, or anything made by man, period. If you want to have a small recreational fire, you are allowed to, as long as it is in a pit and you have water available and it is attended by someone over the age of 18. This is not a fire department rule. This is the Michigan DNR, which is governed by the Michigan Conservation Police. They can and will and are ticketing those that are not following the rules. I can't control it. It is what it is. That's the biggest thing I want to get out again. We've been trying it all over social media platforms. We've been stopping by residents, explaining the policy to them. I've been threatened and everything else, and I'm not trying to take anybody's rights. I'm trying not to burn your house down. It's that simple. There were some citizens in Holton that lost their entire home because of that.
Yeah.
And they got mad at us because their house burned down.
Wow.
It is what it is. During the large fire, unfortunately, we had a brush truck that I brought up during budget time. The tank was getting bad. Justin tried his diligence to keep it alive, so the tank wouldn't leak. Bouncing through the woods on 23 acres, we lost the valve to the tank. It just broke off finally. It's well before I came here, so it's probably, well, the truck's 1985. And the tank's probably a 90 maybe. So I did talk to the executive board. We did go out and purchase a new plastic tank and brackets. But we're doing all the work in-house, so it's not gonna affect our GL in any way, shape, or form. We're hoping to have it back up by next week. If you notice, next door, all the fire trucks are outside. They'll remain outside for the next 8 days. They're redoing the floors, so we don't have the slip hazard anymore. The company started this morning. They're hoping to have it done, if the weather holds, by Wednesday or Thursday. We can be back in the building on the apparatus floor, hopefully by Monday. But we'll go with that. We did put that into capital outlay this year as a GL purchase. It's all been budgeted. We're good at that point. Other than that, everything's been good. We're just trying to keep our heads above water. Thank you, man.
You.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
clarification question, with the burn restriction in place,
Mhm.
you said we can still have,
A small recreational fire in a little pit.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
What is my rule? No burn means no burn. But I'm not gonna stop people, and again, I can't, but we've had 3 of those that were started by people just having a small recreational fire inside to get another barley pop and came back out in their backyards.
I really think it's really important to have water.
It,
You know, anytime I've had a pit fire, I soak the land around the fire pit.
well, the biggest issue is unfortunately is people have their fire going, like we've all done, and I've personally done it. Had a fire, went, okay, it's almost time to go to bed. You know,
No, I
winds
gotta put it
change,
out.
things happen. Again, I'm not complaining, we're not doing it. I'm just really getting kind of old of getting yelled at. It's not my mistake, right? But
Yeah, right.
just because it's your emergency doesn't constantly be mine, but we'll come out and do the best we can, but then don't yell at me from the police officers. I cannot control the police officers. If they want to come out, that's on them. I try to do the best I can for our residents and say, hey, we'll take care of it. Let's just put it out and we're good. I had one that we actually had to have law enforcement because he came after me, but I ran faster than he did, so. But again, I'm not gonna tell the citizens they can't. I'm not trying to take anybody's rights away. I enjoy a good little fire as well, but again, the biggest thing we're finding lately is people are burning trash. And again, no one in Dalton Township, I don't care where you live, no one in Dalton Township is allowed to ever burn anything made by man. And people all burn my paper. Nope, by law, the police can give you a ticket and the fines will range from $250 for no damage up to the cost of what it costed us to be out to put that fire out. So as a remembrance, that 23-acre fire, when we were all said and done, was about $17,000 that it costed us to put that fire out. And that would be billed to the person that did that. So kind of keep that in the back of your head.
Totally.
Yeah. Thank you, Chief.
That's all I have. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Wow.
All right, and then we have the planning commission report. Do you want to do that for us?
Sure. The planning commission had 3 items at their April 29 regular meeting. The first was consideration of a rezoning for 2 vacant lots along Whitehall Road. The planning commission has recommended that the township board adopt an ordinance to rezone those 2 parcels from C2 regional commercial to R2 medium density residential. That is on your agenda for tonight. They also considered a draft ordinance concerning accessory buildings on corner lots that would allow accessory buildings to be placed between the side in the house. And then the planning commission also voted to begin the planning process for the Lakewood Addition sub-area plan, which is all of the vacant, largely vacant parcels surrounding the Village of Lakewood Club that were platted 100 years ago and never developed.
Right, is that it for that one?
Yes.
Okay, and then if you can also do the planning and zoning report.
Yes. So 16 permits were issued in April. These include 3 new houses and 1 addition to an existing house. I have them all listed. In regards to enforcement, 15 cases were investigated in April. We received, 1 citation was issued, and we are monitoring 2 court orders for cleanup. In addition, this is not my report, but the Lakewood Addition sub-area plan, I will begin work on that, sending out notices to adjacent municipalities, and also beginning the public engagement process.
Thank you, Steve. And then if we can have Michael do the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee report.
You bet. So we had a meeting with the Parks and Rec Board, or committee, I should say, on April 21st. Discussion items, we elected our officials for this next term. Randall Lemoyne is our chairperson. Vice chairperson is Mark Grant, and Justin Grinnell will serve as our secretary. We also talked about a set of swings at the Beagle Park, and I think we'll discuss that further in the meeting, more detail, but we did approve that we could spend up to $5,000 for that. Justin was going to do some more research, and I think he'll have some updates on that. Discussion items, we talked about whether we felt the committee has been in existence for about a year. Before that, I don't think Dalton had a Parks and Rec committee. So we discussed whether we were adding value, and we felt like we had. We've added the playground at Beagle Park and come up with some other things that we've implemented. So I think we are effective, and I think it's worthwhile. We discussed about our next meeting, which will be in a few months. Mark led a discussion about Catalpa Park issues. We've got some fence repair that need to be done there, benches, parking lot, and park signs. And then we also discussed Hadley Park regarding the parking lot issues and the needed repairs. So some things we'll be discussing in our next meeting.
Thank you.
The Beagle swing set, is that for the ADA
Mhm.
swing
Yes.
set? Okay.
Yeah. And then Justin, if you could do the building and grounds report for us.
So at Tulpa, Dove, the equestrian trail, bike path, Twin Lakes Center transfer station, and Oakland Cemetery, basically just keeping it maintained at the moment. And spend most of our time at Beagle Sports Park. There, we've got playground opened up, as well as added a climbing dome within the play area, as well as a tetherball pole near the pavilion. I'd finally gotten a chance to button up the soffit underneath and siding on the pavilion, as well as got the lines painted in the parking lot and add some cheap posts and ropes to try to make the parking lot a little bit more, make more sense, if you will. My hope is to deter people from doing donuts and forcing us to grade a lot more than what needs to be done. We also had added some shade, like some umbrellas at the accessible picnic tables. And I'm getting quotes on some swing sets. I've gotten quite a few of them. I'm still trying to find out more, so sorry I don't have a big update on swing set this meeting. I'm hoping to bring it to the next. Also, I've gotten the fence fixed around the outhouse at Beagle. Then at Twin Lakes Cemetery, we've had some issues. Had somebody roll their car and take out section of fence. I hear that they're okay, thankfully. But it did take out fence, so we got that repaired as well as 50-foot fencing. And also had an issue with American flag light that turned out to be a short underground somewhere. Got that taken care of, and there was a pretty decent leak with the irrigation. All of that is now taken care of and working on getting Memorial Day, it ready for Memorial Day. At Mill Lake Boat Launch, we had repaired a rut and with some GeoWeb and dolomite and kind of like testing to see how it holds up. I think that this will hold up well and excited to see how well it does. Lastly, here at Township Hall, I got some of the light posts painted outside. They're looking kind of rough and looking better. More to come.
All right, thank you. And we have way more people here today than we normally do. So if you don't know where Beagle Sports Park is, that's on Tyler Road. And there's actually basketball, tennis, soccer fields, baseball field, and then they put a brand new playground equipment out there too. So just Hadley is over by what lake? It's not West Lake. Yeah, it's just a little beach thing. So yeah, we have quite a few parks in the township, but not a lot of people know that they exist. So figured I'd tell you guys. I know quite a few of you are here for the road. My suggestion is going to be that if you want to give public comment, that you do so when I open it now, because we're going to be talking about the road directly following this public comment. So if you wanted to share any thoughts or concerns, this would be the time to do so. We do give 3 minutes. That's just so that we give everybody an appropriate amount of time. So I will open for public comment, and we ask that you come step up to the podium to speak unless you are unable to do so. Okay, cool.
Hello, board. I'm Mike Malaki. I live on Automobile Road. Thank all my neighbors for showing up today with all the support for our road paved. That'd be awesome. It sounds like hopefully the numbers are there as far as the percentage. My concerns for paving the road, some of the biggest concerns, I think most of you could agree, is the dust. The dust is horrible. I'm just retired last July. I'm a full-time retired worker again, but did 30 years in union construction. And one of the biggest things we learned in construction is silica poisoning. And all of their roads have silica on them. Nobody knows the composition of the sand entirely, the clay mixture, nothing, the rock, the broken rock, all that stuff. That's my biggest concern, is the silica. And to follow that would be the vehicles. I think everybody can contest that our vehicles have taken a beating over the years.
Struts every year.
Yeah.
Stress, it causes conflict with our neighbors. We get our road is attached to power lines and trails. There's a lot of public land, Dalton Township land out there. And it's a magnet for ORVs, off-road vehicles. The dirt road is. And they're screaming up and down it all day. It's a playground for dirt bikes and quads and what have you. But with the road being paved, I feel, and most of my neighbors feel that would solve a lot of our problems for sure. And better the community as well.
Thank you.
Are you the one that started the petition?
Mike Smith, he's not here tonight.
Oh, that's fine.
He got the petition, but yeah, we all helped out. With the votes and stuff. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You want more?
If anybody else would like to, that's,
Yes.
if you're not
It's
able
not
to.
very good, but I'll try.
You can do it too.
My name is James Sutton, and as Mike stated, the dust, and I have a lot of breathing problems, and it's getting so I can't go outside. And I know that we are getting a lot more houses built on there. So I think the paved road would encourage more houses to be built there, so it would accumulate more tax dollars for the property in there, so it would help the township in the long run. That's and they don't salt or water the roads in the summer. So if we want it watered, we have to put our garden sprinkler out in the middle of the road and hope somebody don't run it over, just so we can breathe. So that's what I got to say about it.
Thanks,
Thank
Jim.
you.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah. Hey, that's Dan. I've been on the road, been there 24 years. You know, without a new traffic. I mean, I can't open my windows because my car come by, it's got a whole cloud. I got my 82-year-old mother living with me. Like, you know, you guys don't brine till June. And I have friends up in Shelby, out there today. Their roads are already brine. It's like, you know, every road there was brine. It's in Dalton Township. So, you know, why can't we get it done a little sooner? Just, I mean, it's just terrible. You got to change your furnace filter 3 times a month. It's just terrible. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, I'm Gary Kirsten Jr. I just wanted to mention that with the additional houses on the road, it creates additional traffic, which tears that road up even more. And people mentioned the dust, and that's just increased. If it rains, the road is just a giant pothole, basically. Half the time I'm driving down and bouncing up and down. It gets really bad. And sometimes it takes a while for somebody to come out and take care of the road. So, yeah, mentioning, you know, the dust, everything, this road is overdue to be paved. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any other public comment? All right.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Is there anyone here tonight with an opposing view to this project? Great, thank you.
Crickets, yeah, I heard that. All right, so, our next thing is actually to talk about the automobile road. Put forth the petition, got cost, for what the road will be. And I guess I wanna also just let you guys know too, not that I also too live on a dirt road, and so I 110% understand completely where you guys are coming from and have to replace rotors, all the things on my car, and I have all-wheel drive, so I hear you. But yeah, the cost ended up being, I'm actually gonna scroll. You guys can see the stuff up on the screen there too, if you'd like to look. So I'm just gonna buzz through a little bit of this. So this was the cost breakdown. I did send this through to our attorney, just so that he could double check the things too. Because I'm not a lawyer, and so I didn't want to draw up something that was like not gonna like actually be legal. So this was the cost breakdown. The road commission quoted us that top number, so the 265,000. We do have to pay legal fees. I'm not even sure if that covers all of it, because attorneys are expensive. But that would be the portion. And then township administrative, we have to pay to do publications, mailings, because this is a 4-meeting process to put a special assessment on. So this is meeting number 1, but then when we do public hearings, we have to put notices in the newspaper, and then we have to make sure that all of you also get notices that there is going to be a meeting and public hearing. And then the contingency, the total assessed cost is there. The road commission did say that they would cover 60,000. So the total assessed cost, or cost that would be assessed, would be 245,500. What's up? Oh, yeah, and that would.
Did they take into the account of if it was paved, they wouldn't have to grade it as much and cut costs there?
Well, that comes from different parts of things. So the township
When they
has,
grade it, they'll have the trucks go down one day and grade it and make it nice and smooth. 2 or 3 days later, they got somebody else grading it again. Why are they grading it twice the same way?
right. And also too, just so that we don't, not that I don't want to shoot anybody down, but just so that we can get information out right now. I do want to address some of your guys' concerns too, because you don't know what you don't know, and you can't make decisions if you don't know how this stuff goes. So in the township budget, there's actually different things that we budget for. And we have road projects that we do, which would be like doing a new thing or repairing a road or stuff like that. And then we have our regular gravel part of our budget, which is maintaining the dirt roads. And every year the road commission suggests us roads that we do to bring them up grades, because there's actually a grade to your road, which I also live on a dirt road, so I know my grade isn't great either, but they try to bump them up. With that being said though, with your road, our total budget is for projects is like 200 and something thousand. So if the township were to pay for the road to be done, like no one else would get road work done at all this year, which is why we have to do the assessment, which is what you guys, that's what the petition that you guys had signed was.
Why couldn't they put a millage in, say, next November or next time we have an election to get an increase to help pay for that?
Well, then everybody in the township would have an increase for that road. And that wouldn't be very fair for everybody else.
If they say yes, it's fair for
So
everybody.
with the assessment, it goes on your tax bill. And that gets assessed over a period of time, to be determined yet, right? Like, we have to still figure out how we're gonna assess it, which could be based on parcel or footage, depending on what you guys own on the road. And then it would also be how long we're assessing that for. We did reach out to the bank. We could get a bond, which means that we are lending you the money for the road to be done, and then that gets paid back over that period of time. So I know it's not super ideal. Nobody really loves for their taxes to go up, but like, we can't make things appear from places that, yeah.
Is there like a rough estimated breakdown, like?
Not yet in this meeting. So this meeting was what we're looking at, what you guys are all looking at right now is just a resolution going forward to say, is the board interested in taking this on? Once we do that, then the next meetings will have the breakdowns of what that looks like for both factors, right? Like, we'll bring it back to the board and say, if we do based on parcel, this is how much it is for this period of time. If we do road frontage, this is what it is based on that for this amount of time. And you guys will all know, like, you'll get mailings when those meetings are gonna happen, what that will look like for your guys' taxes. We won't just throw out an assessment and be like, oh, here you guys go, you know, like, you'll have ample opportunity to be heard and also a little bit of input too, because ultimately it affects you guys. So we just can't make all the people happy all the time, which is like the worst part of like working in this role. It's like, I want to make everybody's life better, but I can't make everybody's life better, because when you do, you make somebody else's life.
Right, but you said yourself, you don't have this many people in here very often, right?
No, and 100%
A bunch of us have.
Right. And I appreciate your guys' investment and even taking time out of your day to come and do this. It's a beautiful day outside. You could be doing multiple other things. So it said something. So yeah.
Can I make some?
Yeah.
So my road, I live on Central Road. We just got that paved about a year or so ago. So I know exactly what you're going through. In fact, that's the whole reason I'm here in this position. Anyway, it's a long story, that part. But let me tell you how it worked on Central. Now, I can't guarantee that this is going to lay out the way that it did for us. But as she mentioned, it's a 4-meeting process. This is the starting point. I don't know if they have enough percentage. I would assume they do. So we're good on percentage of people who are interested in it. I will tell you my experience on Central Road. We had 2 options. It was per parcel, and we have some people on our road that have 2 parcels, but our bill was $10,000 per parcel because we're spread out, not as many homes as you guys have. So we had a choice. You could pay for that over 10 years. You had to pay the interest, or you could pay for it up front. I had some money and I paid for it up front, which saved me that interest. But you can do it either way. what else was I gonna tell you? Oh, one thing I did want to comment to you is while you're in this may be a year process before you even see this. And what I'm saying by that is we're gonna get this started now. You may not see the project till next summer. That's what it was for us. Keep on the road commission about getting them to grade your roads. Between my neighbor and other neighbors on our road, we were calling all the time. Our road is a mess, please come and grade it. And so that helps. Anyway, I don't necessarily want to take questions because we had that open unless she wants to open it to questions, but I just wanted to give you our experience. I'm grateful we did it. It was a lot of money. It'll be significantly less for you because you have so many homes on the road, which will be nice. But that's
Yeah, and like I had said too, I live on a dirt road, so I completely get I get the concerns. Also with the road commission thing, when you guys reach out to us, we just reach out to them. So it is sometimes better to cut out the middleman and get a hold of them and say, hey, when are you guys gonna do this?
That's the brining then.
I do know that the brining is, I think it's actually contracted out for our area because of the equipment, but they do it in June. And I will tell you why, because I didn't fully understand that. Again, I live on a dirt road, so I'm like, the dust is wild. Like, you can't have your window open, 100%. It has to do some with rain. So if it's gonna be still in the rainy season, which is the beginning of, May, yep, it's gonna be raining still. When they put that down, it costs a lot of money to put the brine down, and then it literally washes away. So it's like you did it for not.
Yeah, then that would say, I don't care what it costs, then pave our road. You know what I mean? You get your gains and your losses here. You know what I'm saying?
So, and again, like if I would super love to pave all of the roads. Then everybody just had paved roads, but I do not have an endless amount of money. And I wish that we did, because then again, I could make all the people happy and everybody would just, that would be great, but.
You know, we can higher taxes.
Yeah, correct, too. Yeah, if you live in a community where you have really super nice paved
Like I
roads.
said, we have new people coming in there paying more property tax. Then you're supposed to have this gas tax to fix our roads.
Oh, yeah, that's totally different. Yeah.
Whole lot of nothing.
And I do want to kind of rein it in too, because we have to try to keep the stuff for public comment. Not that I don't want to hear from you guys, but just so we can keep the stuff moving forward. So that was the cost breakdown. And then this was all the parcels that we had, which you guys did the petition, so you already know. That's your guys' map, all the parcels that are involved.
44, correct?
I think so. So this was the updated petition. This was your guys' from last year. The updated petition had 2 of the homes sold since last year, which I know you had said that they would be yeses.
I talked for yesterday.
So with that though, it brought you guys to, and when I talked to the attorney, he said that we initially ran the petition by parcel, and he said no, it had to be based on the footage that you guys owned on the road. It brought you guys down to 73.9, 74%. But that was with cutting those 2 new people out, and you only had to meet 50. You had to be above 50. So you guys have the percentage. All right, any conversation from the board?
I just have 2 more comments just to answer questions. Number 1, I thought there'd be cost savings with them not grading the road, but I was shot down on that myself. And number 2, I did shoot off a couple of letters to the governor's office saying, hey, what's this fixing my road thing that you can do? And that was for state. This is county. So
Yeah.
anyway, I explored all those avenues, but.
And the roads they have like different breakdowns too, because there's state, county, and then we have township. And they will partner with us at some cost, which is where we get that like 60,000. And then when we break down even further, they don't. So we have, roads that they say we have to do the project and they cover like 50%. That's like the county kind of stuff. But once we get down to the township level, they're like, yeah, sorry, that's your guys', figure it out. So And I definitely do not want to do millage for roads, because I feel like that would just be not a good, I don't think one that it would pass. And I don't feel like that would be well received widely to raise everybody's taxes too, so. All right, any other comments, concerns, questions from the board? No, this is just the first meeting, so this is just to accept this resolution, which just is the declaration of intent, that will move forward in.
So I'll make a motion to pass resolution 2025-14, special assessment resolution number 1.
All right, motion by Nola, do we have support?
Well, that's okay.
Support by Mr. Cooey? Yep. All right, and then because this is a, money thing, we're gonna do a roll call vote.
Christie,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Eugene,
Yes.
Nola,
Yes.
Amy, yes. Michael,
Yes.
okay.
All right.
Before we move on, so the next discussion will be next meeting, next month.
Yes, and there, I think, is also gonna be public hearing at that, which means that you guys will have more liberty to talk. So, sorry that I had to cut people off, but in the flow of how meetings operate, so don't super love doing it, but public hearing, you guys will be able to be the public and be heard.
We appreciate your attention on this matter. It means a lot to all of us. It really does.
Yeah, I had one person, I call and ask, does the township hate us? And I was like, nope. Sure don't.
Nope, not us.
And I get it. Every person I talk to from your road, I'm like, I 1000% understand. I get it. So, all right. The next thing that we have on is the resolution, 15. And that is for the Muskegon County Hazard Mitigation. That's just so that we can meet with the county, and if there's like a hazmat hazard, that we're all in the same, that gets taken care of. So,
Mitigation. This is when bad things happen, like floods and tornadoes.
oh,
Natural
I
disaster.
spoke wrong.
This includes that stuff. This includes everything that could potentially happen.
So it's more.
713 pages.
Above and beyond it.
More.
So we want this.
Yeah.
So if we could get a motion,
I'll make that motion to approve resolution 2025-15.
perfect. And then do we have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Amy. And then, I think I did a roll call because it was a resolution, so.
Nola,
Yes.
Eugene.
No.
Heather,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Amy, yes.
All right, motion passes. And then we are going to go with the next thing, which is the zoning ordinance, which Steve had mentioned that we just needed to change some from C2 to R2. Sounds like Star Wars, but.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-02 to amend the township zoning ordinance.
Perfect. So motion by Nola, do we have a support? Support by Christie. And then if we can get a roll call on that one as well.
Michael,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Eugene,
Yes.
Nola,
Yes.
Amy, yes.
All right, motion passes. And then we also have the temporary moratorium, that's a big word, in the Lakewood additions. That's just pretty much the,
Too close to clean.
yeah, there's the staff memo too from the planning commission, but this is just asking that we hold off on land sales in the Lakewood subdivision area until they can make a plan for development. So that we're not just selling large chunks and then not having anything established as far as roads and all that other things. So,
I'll make that motion to impose a moratorium on the sale of township property which are designated for the Lakewood Addition sub-area plan until such plan is adopted by the township board.
perfect, thank you. And then support by Eugene. And then because this also did affect land sales and finance, I said, let's go ahead and do a roll call vote on that one too.
Nola,
Yes.
Eugene,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Amy, yes.
All right, the next thing is the private driveway for Karma, bought those parcels over by, and she needs to put in a driveway, but then, with it being, I'm probably gonna say stuff wrong. Anyway, with it being an easement, having it be private driveway standards instead of road standard, if that was gonna be acceptable by the board.
And she has an easement, yes?
She has, yes, so, I think the map is attached, it's kind of hard to see, but there's that line that goes back. That was like a right of way, so if she establishes it, it would only be to private driveway standard and not to like a dirt road or, but so far she's the only one with property back there. We could potentially look like if there were more stuff added, would the board then at that point say we need to have it be to the road standard? So
Is she building a home back there?
she's building one and then potentially going to build a second.
Any concerns from the fire department on that? No?
It's kind of dark, it's right here.
Oh. Is this one?
Off of Park. Private
East
driveway.
Lincoln.
Yep, so I think that's what that is, referred
Oh,
to
gotcha.
as.
It's gonna be a big one. I make a motion to allow Karma Adams to construct a private driveway within the right of way known as East Lincoln Boulevard, which has been dedicated on the plat of Putnam's addition to Goose Egg Lake Resort contingent on approval of a land use permit, compliance with all applicable sections of the Dalton Township zoning ordinance, and that the right of way shall remain dedicated for public access.
Perfect, motion by Nola. Do we have a support?
Or
Support by Eugene, any discussion from the board? All right, this one I just had an all in favor vote, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? All right, motion passes. And then we have the building department, permit, extension policy. So the building, administrator actually came to me and said that this was an issue because for some reasons, when people get a building permit, something happens, you know, somebody gets sick or, and they stop doing their work and it gets put off. And then when it gets put off for more than 180 days, the building code, the Michigan Building Code says that that permit is no longer good. They have to re-get a permit. Building permits are not cheap.
No.
So this was his request to have it where he could issue the, as long as the work didn't change, they weren't asking for anything additional. It was the same thing, that he could approve a new permit for up to 50% of that cost. So say that it was $1,000 building permit, they didn't follow through with it. 6 months later, or a year later, they're like, hey, this terrible thing happened. He could reissue it for $500.
My question is, if it's a state thing, do we as a township have the legality to
We can,
cut the cost?
the state doesn't establish the cost.
Oh,
The building.
So, the state says a maximum that you can do. They said you cannot charge more than this.
Mhm.
But if we were to, it is only in these circumstances where it is the exact same permit.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's a different permit number, but it's the
Right,
same exact
right,
work being followed through. Obviously, if they added to it, they said, I was building a 2-bedroom house, instead I want to build a 3.
Right.
Oh, sorry, you have to do a new site plan and all that other stuff, so. But
Why can't the permit be renewed? Why does a new permit
it
number?
cannot be renewed because of the 180 days. If it goes over 180 days, that is voided, canceled, because you can't renew it. The state says that it is no longer good after 180 days. And so the reason why he says this is because he has the responsibility as the building to enforce the building code. So I read this through with him, made sure that he was okay with all the things that, because he asked him. So this was the final product.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the Dalton Township Building Department permit extension policy. Change that word.
What is it?
On your second paper, last line,
Uh-huh.
building inspector may place stimulations on this.
Stipulations.
Stipulations.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We'll make that correction.
Thank you.
That was a good catch.
And I'll support your motion there, Mike.
I got an okay English rating.
With
So,
that minor adjustment.
yeah, thank you. All right. Yes, we'll fix that. So Michael, your motion's still good with that correction?
Yep.
And then the support from Amy's still good?
Yep.
And we'll do all in favor. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none. All right, that motion passes. And then the very next thing is another semi-big thing. The website is terrible, awful. We talked about that when we were looking at the budget. And we sat down, went through with staff too, to look at the different website options, what was gonna be usable. They had come up with, when we sat down and talked, that Revise, which is the one that is in your guys' packet. If I added all of the proposals in the packet, you got a textbook. So I just put the cost of the other ones on here they kind of, and I'll go through the reasons. So Civic Plus, they had two different options. The annual cost for that one was just a lot. Like one was like $6,000, one was $6,500 annually. That didn't seem like a great amount of money. Civic Clarity, their cost didn't seem terrible, but the editing seemed like it was a lot like what we have now, where we have to reach out to them and then we wait and then they do an update and, we're kind of just like in a limbo waiting for stuff to happen. So it wasn't live. And then Schumacher's cost was wonderful. Their costs were really low, but they are WordPress, which is like, if you try to edit anything in WordPress, it's all code. I do not do code. So that could not be a thing that I do. So we'd have to have more involvement from them. And it seemed like that was also going to be more of the same headache that we currently have, maybe even a little bit worse. Revise had the option to spread the cost over, I think it was 4 years. Okay, so actually, I don't know why I'm doing that. Oh, that's why I got it here. So it was right now we pay $199 a month for our current website, and we're month to month, so we're not under contract. We could cancel at any time. And that cost ended up being more than what we do now for our website, but over that period of time, that pays for the creation of the website, and then they integrate all of our stuff over, and then it's live editing, so I can literally just click and drag a photo or tap into a box and edit the text. And code is happening in the background, but I don't know what it is. The admin girls really loved that. And honestly, I think, we have the potential to change out in 4 years, but the admin people, the goal is that they stay. And so if we can make their jobs a little bit easier, make the residents' experience easier. And there's also options with that website where people can sign up for text alerts or get email alerts. And we don't have to have all these extra things that we do to make that happen. So I guess that's the spiel. It was in the budget already, but I wanted to bring it to you guys so you could see what the one was selected and make sure that you guys were also on with it, so.
So the grand total from what I'm seeing is $11,100 spread over 5 years.
Yes. So I think that the total, stealing these packet here. So it's just over $4,000 every year for 5 years. And then after that, the cost is $2,300, which is about what we pay now. So it will just be that higher cost for the first 5, so that we can spread that like initial building of the website and the integration out over a period of time.
Well, I can,
Did we put money in the budget
Yes.
for this year to do
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Then why spread it out for 4?
Well, so there's money in the budget for it, but then
Is
if
this
you
at
don't,
no interest?
yes.
yes, yes. And
Spread it for 4.
yeah, so in my opinion too, spreading it leaves that pocket in the budget too, because we have the integration with like central dispatch and all that other stuff that's gotta happen. It just made sense, so.
I'm technology challenged, so anything that makes technology easier to work with, I make a motion to approve the revised web services sales agreement.
All right. Motion by Nola,
Support.
support by Eugene. Any discussion from the board? All right, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Michael,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Nola,
Yes.
Eugene.
Yeah.
Amy, yes.
All right, and then we had the addition, I can see that, sorry, my stuff died. Amy's obviously like my wingman tonight, so. DTE gave us a quote for, we have to have a line, run, we got the generator, and then the amount of natural gas that can be used at one time when all the things are going. What we currently have won't support it. So we had to do a new line, which would put more gas out, and then a new meter to read it. Potentially, we don't have to do that, sorry, do a new line for the maintenance building, but we will have to do a meter, because ours are extremely outdated. But I more than doubled the cost just to give it a buffer. We would have money in the budget either in building repair or in capital outlay. We're hoping that when we get the quote for the maintenance building, it's significantly less, but just to err on the side of caution. I put forth the extra in there.
Sure.
Did anybody have any questions regarding it?
That's something we gotta do.
Yeah.
And we can't use a new generator without this being done,
Well,
so.
You could, you just can't use all the other things at the same
You can't
time.
have the heat
So
on.
you can't have the heat and the, whatever else we got going on, so. They had said that it just didn't meet the capacity. Also, this building was built in the 80s, so there's potentiality too that the stuff is just needing to be updated.
Updated. Make a motion to approve using up to 20,000 for recommended DTE projects at the township hall and the maintenance building.
And then do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Christie. And then any discussion from the board? All right, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Michael,
Yes.
Yes.
Nola,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Eugene.
Yes.
Amy, yes.
Motion passes. And then we'll move on to some discussion items. I just threw in the White Lake annual report because they had sent it to me in an email, so I was like, throw that out there for you guys. Not really anything on that though. And then we had finance updates / audit update, and we are looking good. So we've gotten a lot of stuff done. Tina came in, bank recs are done. all the way through to current, so, and then we have some, we meet with the auditor, we meet with the auditor next week, and then audit will happen at the middle of June. And we should be completely ready for it this year, so told the auditor we need to win after a few years of not winning. So, just letting the board know where we're at on that, so, and then Amy just hosted her first election, and everything went really well with that. And then we'll have another one in August.
Yes.
August for the
School.
Library.
library. Yep, so that will be out there as well. Anybody got anything else to discuss? Okay, I guess we'll open up our second public comment, if the public would like to comment.
Just that we thank you for your time once again, and your support.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we got Miss Rachel coming up.
Yeah, just give me a second.
We won't rush you,
Rachel Church, your local Dalton Township librarian. Just wanted, if you don't have kids in school at Twin Lake Elementary, they're having a walk-us on a Friday, from 3:30. And I believe the fire department, the police department, food trucks, there's gonna be all kinds of things there. They're asking for donations of canned goods or monetary donation when you come in. And, come on down. I'm gonna have the library's outreach van there with a prize wheel, so you spin the wheel, make a deal with me. I'm gonna some free stuff. And then I do have some yard signs because our village is coming up. So if you love the library like I do, come on down and get a yard sign, put in your yard, let all your neighbors know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, they offer a lot of really nice programs for kids during the summer too, and,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
I'll have those newsletters.
I live your guys' side of the township too, and, you might still even be able to do stuff at that branch, so, yeah.
Everybody's going, yeah.
Yeah, lots of good things happening at the library. I think they might even be taking rocks at the walkathon for the veteran stuff in the cemetery. So. And then also to mention too, that same Friday at 6 p.m., we're gonna be putting flags out, in Twin Lake Center Cemetery for the veterans, if anybody would be interested in helping with that. All right, any other public comment? I forgot where I was for a second. We just buzzed right through this meeting very fast. Anything? All right. Just looking for a motion to adjourn. Nola, always quick with that one. All right, can we get a support? Support from Amy. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, we're adjourned.
I have a question for you. Yes, you are the ordinance enforcer.
Zoning administrator. The ordinance enforcer is a separate person, but I work with them.
I've asked a question, so I got a question for him too. He's a fire.
You didn't know.
I would have abstained. I thought they said you can't abstain only for my interest. 6,001. The first house